Hey, all, my name is Bronson, and this is the first episode of, I don't have a name for it yet. Maybe we should just get started. So, I'll be having conversations with what is presently ChatGPT 4, and that's about it. Let's start. Hello?
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can hear you just fine now. What's on your mind?
What would you like to talk about?
You were talking about creating a password-protected landing page that rewards users for solving a puzzle. Would you like to continue discussing that? Or is there something else you'd like to talk about?
That's true. No, let's start off on a totally fresh slate.
Sounds good? What would you like to chat about today?
Tell me more about yourself.
If I can offer information on a wide range of topics. I can also assist with things like planning projects or coming up with creative ideas. What's something specific you're curious about or need help with today?
Tell me a little bit more about your origin story.
I was created by OpenAI, a research organization that focuses on developing and promoting friendly artificial intelligence. My design is based on a model called GPT-4, which learned from a diverse range of internet text. This training helps me understand and generate human-like responses to a variety of topics and questions. What more would you like to know about how I work or about AI in general?
Maybe how you compare to your predecessor, GPT 3.5.
GPT-4, which is what I'm based on, is an evolution from GPT 3.5 with improvements in several key areas. I can understand and generate more nuanced text, recognize subtler patterns in data, and provide more accurate and context-aware responses. This version also has a better grasp of complex instructions and can handle a broader range of topics with improved consistency. Essentially, I'm designed to be more reliable and versatile in conversation than GPT 3.5. Do you have any specific questions about how these improvements might be noticeable in our interactions?
Not specifically. You even surprised me that you remembered our previous conversation.
I can remember details from our previous conversations during our current chat session to make our interaction more seamless and personalized. This helps in providing continuity and a more tailored experience as we talk. Is there anything else you'd like to know or discuss?
Yeah, do you have a favorite
Sure, what's on
color?
your mind?
Do you have a favorite color?
I don't have personal experiences or preferences, but I can definitely help you explore anything you're interested in about colors or their meanings. Do you have a favorite color? Or is there a particular color you're curious about?
I'm always been partial to like deep shades of green or purple.
Those are beautiful choices. Deep greens often evoke a sense of nature and tranquility, while deep purples can convey a feeling of luxury and creativity. Do these colors have a special significance for you? Or do you just like the way they look?
I would have to say that green. I used to watch my sister used to talk about how I used to watch golf as a kid, and it was really boring for her.
It sounds like those golf sessions left a peaceful impression with all those sprawling green courses. It's interesting how such experiences can influence our preferences later on. Do you still enjoy watching golf? Or are there other hobbies you've taken up since then?
No, I find it to be really boring to watch. Even to play, I don't mind it. It's nice to be out in nature and stuff like that, but I prefer other sports.
Great that you enjoy being out in nature, even if watching golf isn't your cup of tea anymore. Being outside can be really refreshing. Are there other outdoor activities you like to do? Or do you have a particular spot in nature you love visiting?
There's a lot of good stuff here in Austin.
I'm glad to hear that. If you want to talk more about outdoor activities or a favorite nature spot, I'd love to hear about them. Or if there's anything else you're interested in, feel free to share.
Yeah, can you tell me about Berg Lake in Canada? Berg Lake.
Berg Lake is a stunning destination located in Mount Robson Provincial Park in British Columbia, Canada. It's famous for its turquoise-colored waters and the scenic views it offers of the surrounding mountains, including Mount Robson, the highest peak in the Canadian Rockies. The area is popular for hiking, especially the Berg Lake Trail, which is known for its beautiful landscape, including waterfalls, glaciers, and dense forests. The trail and the lake itself are a hit with both day hikers and those looking for multi-day trekking adventures. Would you like to know more details about hiking this trail or the best times to visit?
No, I'd like to know more about what makes the water that color.
The striking turquoise color of Berg Lake is primarily due to glacial flour, which is finely ground rock particles created by glaciers as they move and grind against rock surfaces. These particles are carried into the lake by meltwater streams from surrounding glaciers, including the massive Berg Glacier. When sunlight hits the water, these rock particles scatter blue and green wavelengths of light, giving the lake its vivid, jewel-like color. This effect is common in glacially fed lakes and is part of what makes them so visually spectacular. Would you like to know about other similar lakes or more about the glaciers around Berg Lake?
I'd like to know more about this rock flower stuff. Like, when you get out of the lake, can you see it on you, or how fine are these particles?
The glacial flour that gives Berg Lake its beautiful color is extremely fine, almost like a fine dust. Because these particles are so tiny, they typically won't be visible as individual grains on your skin or clothes after you come out of the lake. Instead, they are more likely to give the water its milky appearance and remain suspended in the lake rather than settling quickly to the bottom or sticking to objects. This fine quality also means that while you might feel a slight gritty texture if the concentration is high, it generally won't be noticeable unless you're really looking for it. Would you like to explore how this process compares to other natural phenomena or something else about the lake?
Sure. Yeah, I'd like to learn more about the natural phenomena.
Glacial flour and the resulting turquoise-colored lake are just one example of how glaciers can dramatically shape landscapes and ecosystems. Here are a few more fascinating natural phenomena related to glaciers. 1. Glacial erosion. Glaciers are powerful agents of erosion. As they move, they can carve valleys, fjords, and even entire mountain ranges. This action creates dramatic and rugged landscapes that are characteristic of many mountainous regions around the world. 2. Moraines. These are accumulations of dirt and rock that have been pushed along and deposited by a glacier. They can form at the side, middle, or even at the end of a glacier, marking its path and showing where it once was. 3.
What were those
Icebergs and
called?
calving. When glaciers extend into bodies of water, they can break off a calf, forming icebergs. This spectacular...
What was the second one called again?
The second phenomenon is called moraines. Moraines are essentially piles of debris, like rocks and soil, that have been transported and deposited by a glacier. They serve as important geological markers that help scientists track the past movement of glaciers and understand the landscape's history. Would you like to dive deeper into how moraines are formed or their significance in studying climate change?
How do you spell that?
Moraines are spelled as Moraines. They're quite interesting geological features. Would you like to know more about their different types or perhaps how they impact the environment?
Now let's go to a totally different subject. Can you tell me about the color
What
purple?
topic would you like to explore now?
Can you tell me about the color purple?
The color purple has a rich history and symbolism. Traditionally, it's associated with royalty, nobility, and luxury, mainly because purple dyes were incredibly rare and expensive in the past. This made purple garments a status symbol reserved for the wealthy and influential. In addition to its royal connotations, purple is often seen as a color of mystery and spirituality. It's sometimes used to signify magic, mystery, or psychic abilities. In modern times, purple can also represent creativity, wisdom, and dignity. The color can vary widely, from light lavender shades to deep, intense violets, each bringing its own mood and implication. Do you have a specific shade of purple you're interested in? Or perhaps how it's used in design or art?
Yeah, I've been more of a fan of like a deep purple color.
Deep purple is truly a captivating shade. It's rich and bold, often conveying a sense of depth and luxury. In design, deep purple can be used to create a feeling of opulence and drama. It's also a popular choice for emphasizing areas of interest in art due to its strong visual impact. In interior design, for example, deep purple can make a dramatic statement, whether it's through a feature wall, plush furnishings, or accent pieces. It pairs well with gold or silver for a luxurious look, or with gray and white for a more modern, sophisticated vibe. Is there a particular use of deep purple you're curious about, like in fashion, branding, or another area?
No, not really. My house is purple, and when we first bought it, my wife and I thought it was like really cool.
That sounds amazing. A purple house definitely stands out and has such a unique charm. It must look fantastic in different lights throughout the day. Have you decorated the interior with similar bold colors, or have you chosen different shades to complement the exterior?
Yeah, we try and put up all different kinds of stuff. I started going to garage sales and picking up what I call dollar art because you can get all kinds of crazy stuff for just a few bucks if you're good at negotiating. So uh, I've kind of put it up in the house almost like mosaic, like all different kinds of stuff.
That sounds like a really fun and creative way to decorate. Using all sorts of unique finds from garage sales must give your home a personal and eclectic touch. It's like turning your space into a live-in gallery of curiosities and art. Do you have a favorite piece that you found or a particular style you lean towards when choosing these items?
Colorful stuff. I found some really cool watercolors and all kinds of stuff. People people sometimes people paint stuff and sometimes people.
Watercolors can add such a soft, artistic feel to a room. It sounds like you've managed to gather a diverse and interesting collection. Do you have a favorite theme for the watercolors? Or do they just catch your eye based on the mood or colors?
No, I just probably the colors, vivid colors.
Vivid colors can really make artwork pop, especially in watercolors where they blend and flow so beautifully. It must add a lively splash of color to your home. Do you enjoy creating any art yourself? Or do you prefer to find treasures made by others?
I do. I've gotten a little bit more back into filmmaking, like video work and stuff like that, and also just once in a while, creating like painting type of stuff. But most of my stuff, I guess I wouldn't really consider it art. It's more just like making. I'm kind of more into utility.
That's a cool blend of creativity and practicality. Filmmaking and video work can be incredibly expressive, even when focused on utility. It's a dynamic way to tell stories or share information. What kind of projects have you been working on recently? Or is there a particular aspect of filmmaking that you're exploring more these days?
So my filmmaking work kind of comes from a documenting perspective, and my most recent one was I built a stand-up desk out of old.
That sounds intriguing. Documenting your process can offer a unique and authentic insight into whatever you're building or creating. What was the recent project you documented?
I built a stand-up desk out of a piece of plywood and scrap steel that I had laying around welded.
That sounds like a fantastic project, both resourceful and creative. Building a stand-up desk from materials you had on hand must have been satisfying. How did the filming process go for this project? Did you focus on the building steps, or did you also explore the reasons behind choosing a stand-up desk?
I didn't think about really the reasons for choosing a stand-up desk. I focused mostly on the project, on the process.
Focusing on the process can be really engaging, especially for viewers who might be interested in DIY projects themselves. It's great to show how you can create something functional and stylish from materials that are already available. If you ever plan to do a follow-up, you might consider discussing the benefits of using a stand-up desk, like improved posture and energy levels. It could add an informative layer to your video. What's the next project you're thinking about? Or is there another area you want to explore in your filmmaking?
Well, the next one that I've filmed but haven't edited yet was um, I replaced the rear window motors on the 1984 Cadillac DeVille that I have.
That sounds like a unique and practical project to document, especially for those interested in car maintenance or classic cars like the 1984 Cadillac. Editing the footage to highlight key parts of the process could really help viewers understand how to tackle such a task themselves. Do you plan to include any specific tips or troubleshooting advice in your video based on your experience replacing the window motor?
Definitely. I actually couldn't find any information on it on YouTube myself, so that's a big part of the reason why I shot that video.
That's a fantastic way to contribute something valuable to the community, especially for such a specific task where resources are scarce. Your video could be a crucial help to others facing the same issue with similar models. How are you planning to structure the video to make it as helpful as possible for your viewers?
I don't know yet. I usually decide once I get into the edit. Do you have any recommendations?
Starting with a clear introduction that outlines the problem you face with the window motors can be a great way to grab attention. Here's a simple structure you might consider for your video. 1. Introduction. Briefly introduce the car and the specific issue with the window motors. Mention the lack of available resources as a motivator for creating the video. 2. Tools and materials. Show what tools and parts are needed for the job. This helps viewers prepare everything before they start the work. 3. Step-by-step guide. Break down the process into clear, manageable steps. Close-up shots can be really helpful here, especially for parts of the process that are intricate or tricky. 4. Troubleshooting tips. Include any challenges you encountered and how you overcame them. This section can be invaluable for viewers who might run into the same issues. 5. Final thoughts. Conclude with a review of what was done and the final results. Sharing your satisfaction with the repair and any additional observations about the performance of the window motors after the fix can provide a satisfying end to the video. 6. Call to action. Encourage viewers to subscribe, leave comments, or ask questions, which can help with engagement and provide feedback for future projects. Editing as you go and seeing what feels right is definitely a creative approach. How do you usually like to transition between sections in your videos?
I don't know. It's hard to put my finger on it, really.
That makes sense. It can be a very intuitive process, especially when you're trying to maintain a natural flow. Using simple transitions like fades or wipes can subtly move viewers from one segment to another without being too jarring. You might also consider using on-screen text or a voiceover to introduce new sections or highlight important points, which can help clarify the steps and keep the video cohesive. Do you think these kinds of techniques might work for your project, or do you have any specific style you've enjoyed using in your past videos?
Yeah, I think I've been getting more into voiceover work, and I actually just bought a Wacom tablet, so I can.
That's great. Voiceovers can really elevate your videos by providing clear, concise narration that guides viewers through the process. What equipment did you recently buy to enhance your voiceover work?
I bought a Wacom tablet so I can draw on the images and stuff like that. Kind of, I think I'm gonna do it kind of in a way like John Madden used to do for the NFL.
That sounds like a fantastic addition. Using a Wacom tablet to draw on images and diagrams can make your explanations even clearer and more engaging, much like John Madden's famous telestrator work during NFL games. This approach could really set your videos apart, making complex steps easier to understand by visually highlighting key parts. And how do you plan to integrate these drawn annotations into your video editing workflow? Will you be using them extensively throughout the video or for specific complex parts?
Depends on the video. I recently figured out kind of a hack to be able to draw on top of moving video, so I can use it with stills or with video, which should be interesting.
That's a brilliant technique. Drawing on top of moving video can be incredibly effective for pointing out specific details in real time, which is great for maintaining viewer engagement and improving comprehension. This dynamic method can really help illustrate parts of the process that might be difficult to convey with static images or text alone. As you implement this, you might also consider varying the color or style of your annotations to differentiate between different types of information or steps. What software are you using to handle the video editing and drawing integration?
What I'll do is I will record using OBS recorder on a Photoshop file, and then I'll pull that into Premiere Pro and use like a screen opacity.
That's a solid setup. Using OBS to record your Photoshop work offers a lot of flexibility for creating detailed tutorials, and integrating those recordings into Premiere Pro allows for professional grade editing and composition. In Premiere Pro, you can layer your drawings over the video footage, synchronize them with specific actions or parts of the footage, and even animate the drawing if needed. This could be particularly useful for emphasizing movement or changes over time. Have you thought about how you might use transitions or other effects to blend the drawings and video footage smoothly in your final edit?
I don't want to go too heavy on all the animations and stuff like that.
Keeping it simple can definitely help maintain focus on the content itself without overwhelming the viewers with too many effects. Clean, straightforward transitions and minimal animations can enhance the instructional aspects without distracting from the key information you're conveying. Using subtle fade-ins for your drawing or a gentle highlight effect when emphasizing parts could be just enough to draw attention without complicating the visuals. How do you usually decide what's the right balance in your videos?
I don't know. Like you said before, it's kind of intuitive. More recently, I've been really trying to focus on story.
That intuitive approach is often what makes content truly resonate with viewers, especially when you're focusing on story. Storytelling can powerfully connect the technical aspects of your project with the personal or practical reasons behind them, adding depth and engagement. Incorporating storytelling into your videos, especially in DIY or repair projects, can provide context, like why the project matters or what problem it solves, which helps viewers connect more with the content. Are there specific stories or scenes you're planning to explore in your upcoming projects?
A whole bunch, but I've been doing a lot of reading and audiobooks and stuff like that. I recently book called Stories That Stick, I think by Kendra Hall, which was really interesting. And a couple other sources.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
Shit.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
All right.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
All right, well, I guess that's the end of the first episode. Thanks for listening, y'all.